WN17 was given the codename Hillman by the British and was a regimental headquarters and command post for the coastal defence in the area under the command of Colonel Ludwig Krug. The bunkers housed approximately 150 officers and men of the 736th Grenadier Regiment, part of the 716th Static Infantry Division. Hillman was located approximately 2.3 miles inland from Sword Beach, next to the village of Colville, Montgomery, formerly known as Colville-sur-Mer, and was constructed by the German organisation Todd from 1942. Built at a height of 200 feet or 61 metres above sea level, the complex offered direct views of the landing beach as well as of the mouth of the River Orne. The field of fire from the complex extended for approximately 2,000 feet or 600 metres. The fortified site, constructed by Organisation Todd, covered 24 hectares and was comprised of 18 concrete bunkers, which included 2 H608 command post bunkers with armoured observation cupolas and a H605 bunker for artillery. The primary spaces of the H608 bunkers were situated 4 metres underground and housed the command headquarters, signal centre, mess rooms and sleeping quarters. Other bunkers on the site included mechanical ventilation systems, medical facilities, food storage, as well as ammunition storage. The bunkers were linked to one another by a network of trenches. The positions were also connected by a network of telephone lines which were buried between 6.5 feet and 10 feet underground. The complex was surrounded by a series of Tobruk pits on which machine guns could be mounted. Further surrounding the complex were a series of barbed wire fences and minefields. While Hillman had artillery bunkers, it did not house any guns. Hillman did, however, control the firing of the gun battery at WN16, which was given the codename Morris by the British. Morris was located approximately 800 metres closer to the coast than Hillman. The Morris battery consisted of 4 105mm Czech howitzers. 3 of these guns were housed in concrete bunkers, while the 4th was still under construction when the Allies launched their invasion on the 6th of June 1944. Little remains today of WN16. The battery has been largely swallowed up by a housing development. A fenced-off casemate can still be seen from a road within the estate, and there is an openly accessible gun pit. Of the other 2 bunkers which made up the complex, one has been incorporated into a house, while the other is part of a group of outbuildings. On D-Day, B Company of the 1st Suffolk Regiment advanced on Morris and began to blow up the wire that surrounded the complex. With the detonation of the barbed wire, the gun crews, who were Eastern Europeans who had been pressed into the service of the Wehrmacht, surrendered. Hillman was also assaulted by the 1st Battalion Suffolk Regiment, supported by tanks of A Squadron, Staffordshire Yeomanry, C Squadron of the 13th 18th Royal Hussars, 2 batteries from the 33rd and 76th Field Regiments Royal Artillery, a machine gun platoon from the 2nd Battalion Middlesex Regiment, and Royal Engineers from the 246th Field Company. The bunkers at Hillman were originally reconnoitred by Captain Jeff Riley, the commanding officer of A Company of 1st Suffolks. Riley passed on information for British artillery, mortar crews, and tanks to shell the bunkers, whereupon an attack was launched at 1:05 p.m. Hillman was initially outflanked to the north, where the Royal Engineers cleared mines and barbed wire using Bangalore torpedoes. A Company of the 1st Suffolks passed through the cleared lanes led by Lieutenant Mike Russell, advancing into the German trenches where they were faced with heavy machine gun fire, prompting a retreat. The well-designed and defended bunkers proved difficult to take, and the Suffolks brought Sherman tanks from the 13th, 18th Hussars, and the second assault overran the site. To silence the bunkers, Sherman Fireflies fired on the armoured cupolas, but the rounds bounced off. Following heavy fighting, the combined armour and infantry succeeded in taking most of the complex by 8:15 p.m. Nevertheless, it would not be until the morning of the 7th of June 1944 that the last bunker within the Hillman complex surrendered. The assault on Hillman cost the Suffolks 2 officers and 5 men killed and a further 24 wounded. While the Morris Battery may have been largely swallowed up by a housing estate, the Hillman complex can be visited, with the site having been opened as a museum. Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more updates, like and share. You can also help to support the channel at Patreon. Details are in the description box below. If you enjoyed this content, why not also check out my Substack page for more unique historical insights and articles. A link to the page is in the description box below.